Today on a student call, one of our students, Maria, brought up a question we hear a lot. Why would anyone want to buy from me? So on this call, she brings up, hey, I'm researching niches. I'm researching what I want to sell as a high-ticket dropshipper. And I'm really looking at B2B because it has a lot of upside. John and I like B2B around here. Selling to businesses is fun. And she says, these business owners, I assume they have really good business acumen. Why wouldn't they just go directly to these brands and buy from them? Why would they buy from me? And it turned into quite a long conversation on one of our calls in our private little mastermind we have behind our course. And so we wanted to kind of bring it to the podcast today and talk about it here. One, because I think we've heard this question way more than we've heard most questions. And two, because John went on an epic rant. So if we could just tee up this little softball for him today, I think John had some really good thoughts on this. So I'll give my response first. But my response to this was that this came up recently in one of our partner businesses. John and I were looking at a very, very big order we got last month that actually made our month. It was very, very profitable for us, and we were looking at it. And in the name of the business who was buying from us was basically the product we sell. And so we assume, man, these guys have to know what they're doing. Couldn't they go source this from someone other than us? Or, and I'll explain why that's not the case in our industry. How do we go find more of them so that we can make more sales like this? So the big answer was usually there are a lot of manufacturers who sell products and they don't, or who make products rather, and they don't sell them directly. There's a lot of brands like this. Their whole focus is making good products, not running a good website, running good marketing, selling products. And they need good people like John and myself and all of our students to come in there and be their marketing arm. And so that was the case on our business. But the other thing that stood out to me on her question, John, was the acumen thing. And I had to immediately say something. Most business owners don't have this amazing business acumen. In fact, they're just a regular Joe Schmo like you and I. 4% of businesses ever get to $1 million per year. Now, I believe our hit rate in our student base is higher than that. And so that blows my mind that if you want to believe 96% of businesses never get to $1 million in revenue, yet they must have this amazing business acumen. The reality is that's just not true. Most businesses fail. And so you have to believe that you're getting in your own way when you have thoughts like this. And this is kind of where you took over and you kind of went on an epic rant here, John. So I hate to make you repeat yourself from our call earlier today, but I'd love your thoughts on this. What comes to your mind when someone asks this question? And again, we've seen it time and time again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a super common question, and I think there's a bunch of sort of related fears, questions that people, particularly early in their business journey, have. And this would relate to almost any business, actually. It's not just related to high-ticket dropshipping or e-commerce. Any business where you're going to be essentially selling something to someone else, you're going to, particularly in the beginning, your mind is going to fall prey to a number of kind of thought patterns around why me, essentially. Why me? Why not somebody else? And, why would somebody buy from me when they could buy from somebody who's more established? I had a similar question that I answered on YouTube the other day. So shout out to Equinox B8711. I don't know your name, but you probably see this video on YouTube as well. Thanks for your questions there. And that person asked me, they're asking about authority, and it was in a comment to a similar video where we were talking about selling a particular type of B2B products. So episode we did on like engineering equipment and sensors and things like that. So fairly specialized products that people with a certain amount of knowledge in certain areas use. This person's question was about authority, and they would say, why would an engineering firm purchase these instruments from some dude who started a website versus from a highly reputable business that's been selling these for a period of time? My first thing there is similar, is that what you're doing at that point is you're overanalyzing and overthinking what a customer actually thinks when they come to your website. So when somebody comes to your website, they don't get there and go, oh my God, this is some dude's website who knows nothing about engineering. Let's assume that you set up a decent website that looks professional, that has the right information on it, which you don't need a lot of expertise to put on there or do. In fact, it's really easy to do this on Shopify these days, to create a good looking website. Nobody knows anything about you when they land on your website, right? Almost nobody is thinking anything about you when they land on your website. Now, yes, a customer may land on a website and say, well, this website doesn't look very good, maybe it doesn't function very well, and therefore I don't feel enough trust for it. Or it may be that the website doesn't communicate the information I need to have communicated to me in order to confidently place an order here. But that's a comment on the website. That's not a comment on the person or people behind the website. On the coaching call, the question was very much also around, Maria's question was around, why would somebody buy from a dropshipper instead of from a supplier? Well, your customer doesn't know you're dropshipping, right? Like, you're not going to put on the front of your website, hey, by the way, I'm a dumb dropshipper who doesn't know anything about these products. Okay, you're not going to say that, right? So the customer doesn't know anything about you. And let's be real. When a customer lands on a website, what are they interested in? And I'm not saying every single customer. I'm saying, I'm generalizing here. In general, when a customer lands on a website, they want to find the right product at the right price, and they want to feel enough trust that they can confidently place an order on that website and buy the product. That's it. Don't overthink what customers are actually trying to achieve when they come to a website, particularly business customers. Business owners are busy. I'm one, Ben's one, you're one. If you're watching this and you've got a high-ticket dropshipping business, they need to get something done. Actually, what are they trying to do? They're trying to provide an outcome for their customer. So the notion that they are in some way super heavily invested every time in making sure that they are buying their products from the perfect business with all the right people behind it and all the right ticks and boxes, and like, would they be their best friend? Would they have their babies, etc., etc.? Like, no. What do they want? They want the thing that they need to get their job done so that they can provide the outcome that their customer is looking for. And if you tick those boxes, like, do they care if they bought it from you, an authorized retailer, or from the supplier? No. They get the same deal either way, right? They're not getting anything more from your supplier. They're not getting anything more from your competitor. When they buy it from you, it's still covered by the same warranty. They still get the same support if something goes wrong with the product. If it's a product with MAP pricing, they're getting it at the same price. You may well offer better customer service as well in the first place. And so it's really easy to overthink this and have all of these deep thoughts about your business going through your mind, which almost nobody else ever has. And the reason for that is that you look at your business through a different set of eyes to your customer. The minute you start your own business, you look at it as a business owner and you compare yourself to everybody else in a way that nobody else does. You stop having the ability to look at your business as a customer would, and you can't switch off the now, this is my baby thoughts. And when this is your baby, you think about so many things, right? It's like when you're a parent, right? And you've got kids. I know Ben can relate to this, and probably a lot of our listeners can. Some probably can't yet, but when you've got your own kids, like, you think about them constantly. Like, constantly. You're always thinking about your kids, right? Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they doing well, in life, in the various different parts of life? Are they doing well at school? Do they have friends? Are they nice? Are they mean? Are they kind? Are they smart? Are they dumb? Are they good looking? You probably do this to yourself as well, right? You have these same thoughts about yourself constantly. You have your own self-talk and all of that sort of thing. And so what do you think other people think when they see your kids? They don't think about your kids for more than 2 seconds. When you walk past somebody on the street, and let's say you interact with them for a few seconds and it's not somebody you know, do you think that person ever thinks about you again? Do you think they thought deeply about you, about who you are, about what you know, about, is this person qualified to breathe the same air as me? No, they don't. People don't think about you for 10 seconds after you interact with them, right? Whereas you might spend your entire day thinking about who you are, what you're good at, what you can do, what you can't do. Am I pretty? Am I ugly? Am I smart? Am I dumb? Like, we do all of this thinking about ourselves that almost no other human being on this planet will ever do about you, except maybe your significant other. If you have one in your life, they might think about you a bit more than the average person. But even then, they're unlikely to be thinking about you constantly all day long. Right? It's the same with your business. You think about your business in a way that nobody else on this planet is going to. Most people won't give it a second thought. As long as you're doing the things that they need you to do, it doesn't matter, is the answer. Not to mention, when we talk about B2B niches and that sort of thing, you often can't buy directly from the brands. Now, in some cases you can, but in many, many cases with high ticket products, the brands, the manufacturers, the suppliers, whatever you want to call them, they're really great at developing great products. That's their business, but they don't sell direct to anybody other than their retail partners, which is you. So in a lot of cases, your customer can't easily buy direct from the brand. Oftentimes, the brand's websites are terrible. Oftentimes, they're hidden deep in search results because they don't do a lot of digital marketing to improve their presence. Because they don't sell direct, they don't have to. A lot of times in B2B niches, your competitor websites are not that great. I want to be real clear here. Generally speaking, when it comes to high-ticket e-commerce, the bar that you have to reach to have a trustworthy website that people will spend money on is not high. It's really not. Like if I compared it to like the direct-to-consumer type e-commerce crowd, their websites are like 100 times better on average than high-ticket e-commerce, particularly B2B niche websites. A lot of them look terrible. And so it's so easy to overthink this. It's really easy to have a professional site that works well. It's not that hard to provide great customer service. Yes, in the beginning, your knowledge will be a bit lower than some other people's out there. And yes, you may miss a few sales as a result of that, but you'll still make sales. Like the number of customers, at least 50% of customers in most cases buy without asking technical questions about products. At least 50%. Many customers, I was looking at sales on one of our stores the other day, and we're doing $12,000, $11,000, $10,000 orders from customers we had no contact with. They just went to our online store, added 3 expensive products to cart and checked out. You're going to get those sales, and there might be some that you don't get in the beginning, but the reality is no one website gets all the sales in any market. There is always more customers. There is always more money. You'll get better over time, and you'll make more sales. So the challenge when you're first, particularly when you're first starting out, I'm not going to say these thoughts or fears go away at any point in time. Truly, you just get better at managing them and better at like pushing through regardless of having those thoughts in your mind. But the challenge in the beginning is like just to set those to one side, not compare yourself to other people, follow a good plan, get help from people who have been there and done it before and have been in exactly your situation before and who can tell you that, no, you're overthinking this. You actually don't have to worry about any of those things. I'm looking at your website. I can tell you're doing well. You're doing the right things, etc., etc. Or maybe you need to fix this, this, and this, and then you're good. This is what you need to do. It's a super common set of thoughts and fears, though, for sure. But you have to find a way to set them aside, I think.
I try to think through my own shopping preferences. If I'm going to look for a product, what do I do next? Am I looking through the shopping listings, which I'm probably clicking one of those and then going, nah, no, this guy doesn't know shit about this product. I know it from his shopping ad. I'm not clicking here, right? No, I'm clicking on the one that looks right, probably has the lowest price or the good deal. If I go to any other sites, it's to compare who's got a better offer. I'm looking for a good offer. It's not always price, it's offer, right? Who's got a better offer here? And that's it. I'm not going in and looking at the About Us page and then trying to figure out who owns the store and going, they're drop shipping. I don't like this motherfucker. I'm just buying. Like, I don't think anyone goes through those steps anymore. I know when we first started 10 years ago, John, I had to have a page that said online security and like talking about how your credit card was safe and all this stuff. No one cares anymore. It's so second nature to order stuff on the internet. So yeah, I agree with you. It's very easy to get in your head in the beginning. And especially that question comes up so much of who, I think it's more of like an unworthiness question. Like, am I worthy of getting sales? Am I worthy of doing this? And, it's just doubt and fears. And like, man, that stuff just creeps up a lot in the beginning and it sticks with you for a while. There's a whole reason we have a big mindset section. We're bringing in Valentina, Dave Ferrari to come in. It's because this stuff doesn't go away. It's going to keep showing up and you just have to be able to, swat it away. And when you can't see it or you can't get help from John and I or somebody in our community who can help you see it, then there's people there who can help you realize that you're getting in your own way. And that's really what it is.
And like, I 100% second thing, like if you're thinking about this in a B2B space, going back to Maria's original question, like I've hung around tons of business owners over the years. I'm sure I know Ben has as well. And yes, there are some unique things about people who are successful business owners. It's not really intelligence though. like, if I'm honest with you, I don't think most business owners, like the original question was, business owners like think about things in a different way and like they're smarter or something like that. And it's not really the case. I don't think there's some super different purchasing behavior for business B2B versus B2C in the respect of like what people are thinking about and the things that they need to have satisfied. And like a business owner is more likely to see through you than anyone else. And like, it's not true. Like, business people are average people who are a bit more comfortable with risk and a bit more ready to do the work than the average person. It's literally it.
This is the beauty of the community we have at Dropship Breakthru, right? We have an elite membership behind our course. This is where we had the call today, where this came up. If you want somebody in your corner, that's what our course is for, right? You can watch Jon and myself over our shoulder building a store, setting up ads, setting up email, doing SEO, running everything that you need in a high-ticket dropshipping business. And we have the community behind it. That's not just people just starting. It is that. It's just people just starting. It's people who just made their first sale. It's people who are doing $10,000 a month. It's people who are doing millions of dollars that are all in our community, ready to help you. If you're ready to take that first step, go to dropshipbreakthru.com/go. Watch Jon show you exactly what one of these stores looks like and consider coming and joining us inside of Dropship Breakthru.